Good morning, everybody. This is Kathy, and welcome to Mixed Media Frenzy with Krista, myself, Ronnie, Rebecca Lockhart, Rebecca Moore, Sonia, and Scrappy Kathy. Now, I am using my tangerine from Prima and my tea color from Color Shine, and that's what I will be using on the background. Okay, and my photo is another photo of my daughter and Braden fishing. They are out on the ocean, I think. I'm not for sure where this is at. I need to really have her write down, like, what each photo is. But the brown and the orange really goes well with my photo. So I pulled these older stamps out, and I got these from HipKit. And I'm just using that little background stamp. I went to get my black ink. So I want some black on here. Sorry, didn't realize I was MIA for a long time. Here I am. I decided to play with the stencil too, but you really can't see that much of the stencil work on my background. You could tell, but I could end up covering a lot of it up with the strips and stuff. And before I forget, I will put the sketch up in the top left-hand corner. Okay, I'm just going to try to get a lot of it on my brush here, and then go over each of the stencil bits. I'm not going to do all of it. I'm just kind of mainly, or maybe I do all of it, and some places it just don't show up. I think this would work really well with the Distress Oxides. Alright, get a couple more on there. Okay, next I'm going to just stamp a couple of these typed words around my page, just for a little accent color. There's the sketch. Okay. Now the numbers. I like how they have numbers going up and down from the top and bottom of the photo. So I'm just using 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can't hardly even see the numbers at the top because of all my embellishments. And I'm just going to stamp one above and below my layout. And I love that black added to the orange. I think it really pops. Okay, so that is done. Now, I pulled this out of my scrap drawer. I have been going through my scrapping stuff, like major going through, and I found these two papers, and I wanted to get some of this yellowish greenish color, and it kind of goes with the green in Amanda's sweatshirt. Kind of, you know, it's a little bit lighter. And then some of this orange cardstock. I've noticed that I've used a lot of orange on my layouts, only because Braden's orange shirt, and then Amanda has orange. I think they like that color. Okay, so I'm just kind of moving the strips around. They kind of go kind of wonky looking. Oh, I'm trying though. There. Now see, I don't mind it like that, but the way I have them down, they're just kind of stuck. I want to put the orange, the kind of like the yellow one in the middle. So that's kind of how. Now I do end up putting foam adhesive behind my strips just to kind of lift them off the page a little bit. So I'm going to glue them on now. And I kind of wish I would have waited before I put my photo on, because in the sketch they have stamping or sewing, well, sewing on their strips. Now, I wish my I can't see to thread my sewing machine, so I don't ever get it out. I always have to have my son come in and thread it for me, and so I don't ever get it out. But I think it's a really pretty detail to your layouts when you sew on them. Alright, so that's kind of how they're going to go. I do leave a lot of this in. I also get out my little heart punch and my larger heart punch. Now they have stars all over, and then they scatter numbers around. I did add just a couple little pieces at the top and bottom of my layout. So now I'm going to punch out some hearts. And I'm just going to use like the same colors. And get some out of this yellowish color. A couple more of the little ones, and now the big ones. And I end up using 2 of the large hearts. Okay, so I go ahead and stop the video just so that I could distress the hearts with my scissors. Okay, here is some squiggly lines that I add to my layout. And I overstamp on the top one, and you'll see me try to fix it. I kind of set it down and I stamp twice there. So I get out my whiteout pen, just kind of cover up just a little bit. You can still kind of see it, but it's not as bad as it was. Just trying to hide my mistake a little bit. Alright, that looks good. Okay. So I only did like 3 squiggly lines. And now I'm going to use this older stamp, and it's a stitching line. And I think that one was from Coco Studio? Coco Daisy. Okay, so see where it's kind of really hard to get that stamp in there. And yeah, just, I wish I was thought of it, ahead of time. But it turned out cute. I really like the stamping on the strips. It really helps. Okay, that's kind of where I'm going to nestle them hearts in. Now, I found this tag in the Vicki Boutin color study. And it really goes with Amanda's sweatshirt. So I really couldn't figure out a title because I don't know where they are. So it's just going to be You and Me. Simple title. Just by using the die cuts. And I want to bring in a couple butterflies because they go with Amanda's shirt. I love to match my photos with paper and embellishments. I love to match the colors. Okay, so I'm going to scatter those hearts around. What else do I want to do? Just start gluing. I found this little piece and it has that little green in, but I really need to, since the photo is popped up twice, and then it's also on top of the strips that are popped up, I really need to put foam adhesive on the back, just so you could see that pop of green. And I decided I needed another little piece. And that way it at least reaches up to the photo. All right. The next thing I do is I go and get some orange sequins. And I am trying to find a bow. So I realized that I needed to cut me some more strings because the pile of bows that I had on my desk to use whenever, they got all tangled and then they all came apart. But that is it. I hope you go visit everybody else. Here are some close-ups. There's that stencil. Okay, and then there's some of the mixed media and the hearts and the butterflies and the stitching. I hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye.